Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm Santa Claus. Oh, you don't believe that, do you?
Oh, do you feel the breeze from the subway? Isn't it delicious?
Wherever there's a fight so hungry people can eat, I'll be there.
I'm just going to let everybody know that I'm Jewish, that's all.
Jewish? But you're not, Phil, are you?
Etc., etc., etc.
As the motion picture enters its second century, Hollywood studios have turned a great deal of their attention to preservation and restoration. Films from decades past are now seen as a valuable record of 20th century history. But during their search for negatives and sound recordings from classics like All About Eve, The King and I, and The Sound of Music, film archivists at 20th Century Fox Studios have uncovered other equally valuable materials. Long-lost musical numbers by Shirley Temple, Betty Grable, Alice Faye, Ethel Merman, Al Jolson, and many, many more. Hello, I'm Joan Collins, and I'll be your guide to some of the best-kept secrets in motion picture history. And in addition to showing you some of these priceless gems, we'll let you in on a few behind-the-scenes secrets, reasons why these incredible film moments ended up on the cutting room floor.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Iceberg, dead ahead, sir!
From historical moments to everyday life, motion pictures have become a visual record of the 20th century. Through movies, filmmakers open a window onto the events, lifestyles, and attitudes of a generation. But sadly, much of this precious film heritage has disappeared.
There's no sort of legitimate figure on the number of films that have been lost, but it's believed that 75% of all silent films are no longer extant, and that 50% of all films made prior to 1950 are no longer in existence.
Yet, thankfully, thousands of reels of film have survived, carefully protected and hidden away.
Some of this material has come from the studios, but a lot of it has come from private collectors, from people who just knew that their grandfather buried a film in the backyard 40 years ago, and they've just dug it up, and they call us up and we come over and get it.
Most of the elements that have survived in the studio vaults have probably survived either by happenstance or because an employee became aware of the importance of that sequence to film history and probably sort of squirreled it away somewhere. Studios really had no interest in preserving their films until they realized that they could be sold to television.
With the emergence of new distribution opportunities, studios have begun scouring their vaults for film materials. And in the process, they have uncovered rare and unusual footage, such as promotional reels previewing upcoming releases.
I'd like to introduce to you some of the famous creators we have assembled here at 20th. Now we visit a soundstage and Nunnally Johnson, here directing the exciting young star, Joanne Woodward, in Three Faces of Eve.
And above all, make me look good.
By all means.
Well, he did ask in a nice way.
Lester.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Also found are unique pre-production elements, including wardrobe tests and screen tests.
Answer it, Vic.
Why should we be bothered by it?
If you meant all the things you told me, you'll answer it.
When we look through our collection of old nitrate prints and negatives, we've often found a lot of interesting offbeat material. We have, for example, Katharine Hepburn's first appearance on film in an early screen test made in 1932, shot at Fox Studios in New York City, actually, where she does a scene from a Philip Barry play, The Animal Kingdom.
I don't even know who she is. Who is she?
Cecilia Henry, her name is.
I see. That sounds familiar. I've heard or read that somewhere. Well, well, wonders never cease. If I thought you were in a marrying mood, I might have thrown my own. Could you call it a hat? Into the ring a bit sooner. Behold, the bridegroom cometh, and no oil for my lamp as usual. A foolish virgin me. Well, foolish anyway.
But perhaps the greatest finds for an archivist are those scenes and musical numbers that never made it into a finished film. Often discovered in the form of unedited dailies, this lost footage reveals candid off-screen moments and provides a unique opportunity for today's editors to construct a scene as the director might have intended.
In restoring these old films to their original integrity or to the quality that they were originally shot in, we really have an opportunity to see Hollywood at its kind of most glamorous and most fabulous.
During Hollywood's golden era, movies were a weekly American ritual. Before the invasion of television, Hollywood fueled the imagination and dreams of an entire culture. Screen stars were truly larger than life, and Hollywood premieres were glamorous affairs, watched with awe by the film-going masses.
I'd like to say hello to everybody, and this is really a thrill, and I'm really so happy to be here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's going to be a wonderful picture.
I wish you'd hurry because I have to get the suit back, if you don't mind.
Miss Monroe wears a short, tight-fitting evening dress, a vision of delight.
This was a time when powerful and charismatic studio executives reigned supreme in all aspects of picture-making, writing, casting, and especially editing. During the golden years of 20th Century Fox, the mogul in residence was Darrell F. Zanuck, the studio's founder and head of production. From the early 1930s until the mid-1950s, nearly every film bearing 20th Century Fox's famous logo was carefully guided from script to screen by this legendary studio chief.
A twin premiere of Halls of Montezuma is held on the West Coast at Grauman's Chinese Theater in Los Angeles. Mr. and Mrs. Darrell F. Zanuck heading the distinguished first-night audience.
More than a corporate figurehead, Zanuck was a producer of the grandest order, easily recognized by his ever-present cigar and incessant pacing. He could be found, most often, in the studio projection room.
The quote I like of Darrell Zanuck's, which is in my book, is, "They call them moving pictures because they're supposed to move." He also found that he had a very low attention span, and he didn't want to telegraph things to an audience. That is, didn't want the audience to be ahead of the projectionist. Darrell felt you could cut, and improve the film.
He very frequently would take out material at the beginning of the film, and I ventured to say that he was taking out some exposition, and would the audience understand later on what was going on? And his reply was always the same. He would always say, "Oh, they'll get it, they'll get it."
When Zanuck began his reign at Fox in 1935, the studio's biggest box office star was also its smallest.
Shirley Temple attends her first premiere.
For most of the decade, Shirley Temple was the top box office draw in the whole world. Her films were surefire hits, and her musical numbers became standards.
Come along and follow me to the bottom of the sea. We'll join in the jamboree at the codfish bar on the good ship. Lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop where bonbons play on the sunny beach of Peppermint Bay. In every bowl of soup I see lions and tigers watching me. I make them jump right through a hoop, those animal crackers in my soup.
But not all of Shirley Temple's charming musical numbers made it to the screen. In Little Miss Broadway, co-starring the great Jimmy Durante, Shirley played an orphan living with vaudevillians in a show business hotel.
Now, don't you sit up and listen to that music. You just shut your eyes and go right to sleep.
I'll shut my eyes, but it'll probably come in through my ears.
At the end of the film, Shirley must prove to the judge, played by Claude Gillingwater, that she is getting a proper upbringing.
Yeah, start your show. I mean, present your evidence, please.
My first evidence, Your Honor, Exhibit A.
But Zanuck thought that Shirley's takeoff of Durante in this delightful song and dance number made her seem more cheeky than charming. It was cut.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Then we're licked before we start. Mr. Clayton, did you or did you not?
Did I or did I not what?
That's for the judge to decide.
Well, but,
I'll reframe the question.
Brother, that's it.
Don't be so shy, Jimmy. Here's your big chance to tell the world what you have done for the dance. Your Honor, this man is the biggest of them all. Why, he's been doing dances since the Dogtown Strutters Ball. Jimmy started trucking and he started Susie Q. And Peckin' and the Big Apple, just to mention a few.
you mean he started those?
He did.
How do you know?
How do I know, Your Honor? Why, he told me so.
I didn't exactly start them, but I made them what they are today. Well, what are they today? Passé. And why are they passé? 'Cause we've got something new. Market Exhibit A, and we'll show it to you. Market Exhibit A.
Exhibit A!
Exhibit A!
Come on, Jimmy, take it away.
It's just a hop, skip, jump, and slide. Now tip your hat as though you're saying bye-bye. Stop, look, straighten your tie. That's the expression. Eyes to the sky, and it's the hop, skip, jump, and slide. That's the dance of tomorrow today.
Yes, sir.
That's the dance of tomorrow today. Okay, boys, let's give 'em a rehearsal. Once over lightly.
Also cut from the film was this energetic number, starring Jimmy Durante and some of the best character actors in Hollywood.
Toscanini, Stokowski, don't make me laugh. I got a section they never heard of. We can play Rubinstein's Melody in F, in G or in tact. This'll be the death of me. Wait, don't go yet. You know, all great conductors don't work alike. We make different faces in different places. Just let me elucidate, and I'll try to demonstrate the difference between Toscanini, Stokowski, and... That's Debussy, the afternoon of a moose. That's just lies on the music. We puzzle scientists as much as scientists puzzles us. Look, no hands. What a band. You can't fool them. I'll fool them this time. We're the Carnegie Hall boys, a lot on the ball, boys. Toscanini, Stokowski, and me.
One of the greatest dancers to appear in motion pictures during the 20th century was the legendary Bill Bojangles Robinson. But even this popular star saw some of his best material land on the cutting room floor. Following a spectacular stage career, during which time he became the highest-paid black entertainer in the world. Bill Robinson was offered a contract to appear in musicals at 20th Century Fox.
When he danced, he wouldn't let his right foot do something that his left foot couldn't do. He was a great performer, and his taps were so clear, crystal clear, and he never missed a tap. And I could understand why they called him the world's greatest tap dancer.
In 1935, Bill Robinson was teamed with little Shirley Temple, and together they danced their way through a series of highly entertaining and hugely successful films. Robinson was frustrated that his screen appearances showcased him only in servant roles. He yearned to be portrayed as the sophisticated showman that he was in real life.
When Beau was in vaudeville and on Broadway, he was very proud of his dress symbol, which was top hat and tails. And it was an extremely important uniform for Beau to be in the top hat and tails because it was a sign of respect. That was one of the first things that Hollywood stripped him of and said, you will play slave roles, you will talk below your abilities. It was a very demeaning situation.
Now, confound you, Walker! Watch what you're doing.
I'm sorry, sir.
You'd better be. If you'd broken that, I'd have broken your head.
Yes, sir.
Happily, Bill Robinson's opportunity came in 1937, when studio head Darrell F. Zanuck, a progressive thinker and a great fan of Robinson's, cast Bojangles as himself in the lavishly budgeted extravaganza, Café Metropole. But when audiences saw the final version of the film, Robinson was nowhere to be found in the opening credits. In fact, his entire performance had been deleted. For years, film historians questioned why, and only recently has an answer been found.
If a movie did try to take the next step beyond, the role would often be cut out from its final release because too many whites would not want to see a black person in a moving up position, so to speak.
Bowing to pressure from nervous theatre owners, Zanuck reluctantly cut Robinson from the film. Lost for more than 60 years was this original opening sequence from Café Metropole, this time featuring Bill Robinson. Also lost from the film was this bold Apache dance, which showed Robinson as few had ever seen him, this time performing with a white female partner wearing dark makeup.
Boss, how was that?
That was splendid. Look, I want you to come with me to table 15. There's some royalty from the French Congo, and she wants to meet you.
Boss, does she know I'm married?
When a woman like that sends for you, you never ask questions. You just go. It may mean a diamond, an emerald, a ruby, maybe a string of pearls.
Well, how big is the pearl?
Whatever. Here, put that away. Votre Altesse, mon général, permettez-moi de vous présenter Monsieur Bill Robinson.
Enchanté.
Enchanté, Monsieur Robinson. Kiss her hand.
Je voudrais à vous demander un petit service.
Boss, what does she say?
She wants you to do her a little favor.
Anything for Her Highness.
Votre autograph?
Oh.
She wants your autograph.
Autograph?
Yeah, sign your name.
Boss, I can't write.
Headaches, heartaches, nerves you can't control. Conscience, conscience, tugging at your soul. That's what makes you wish you hadn't started fooling with the other woman's man.
Another of Fox's popular musical stars was Alice Faye. Placed under contract to Fox in 1934, she was touted as the studio's answer to Jean Harlow.
I'd like to bet there's a nice, quiet little nook around where you and I and a bottle of champagne could have a lot of fun together.
You'd win. Waiter.
Yes, sir.
Champagne, that 1893 in my office.
Yes, sir.
What was Oakley Evans doing here?
Oh, he's been fooling around. A little naughty.
It's dangerous to fool around with little naughties.
You're of age, I hope.
To you.
You New Yorker?
Not native. I was born in the Virgin Islands.
Oh. You must have left there when you were quite young.
But when Zanuck arrived at the studio the next year, he saw something in Alice that others hadn't.
You are an angel without any wings, a vision so lovely to see.
A genuine talent, and a warmer, more natural beauty. In 1938, he teamed her with resident heartthrob Tyrone Power, an audience favorite Donna Michi, in Irving Berlin's Alexander's Ragtime Band, a nostalgic salute to turn-of-the-century songwriters.
And if you care to hear the Swanee River played in ragtime, come on and hear Alexander's Ragtime Band.
Irving Berlin's Alexander's Ragtime Band boasted 28 songs.
Now it can be told in your Easter bonnet when the midnight choo-choo leaves for Alabama,
and featured Broadway and Irving Berlin favorite Ethel Merman in a rare screen appearance.
Jerry. What a pair of pipes.
Jerry Allen's the name.
Incredibly, this energetic musical number was cut. Here, at last, is Ethel Merman singing Marching Along with Time.
With every change, I'm right on the beat. Won't let the grass grow under my feet. I'm marching along with time. I'll be marching from time to time, for I'm not gonna let the parade go by. You know that time marches on, and so do I. One day I changed my horse for a motor, and now of course I'll be changing my car for a plane to fly. You know that time marches on, and so do I. There'll be a change in music, a change in rhythm, a change in dancing, but I'll be right with 'em. Watch me, and you will find that I just won't be left behind, for the time marches on with his head up high, and so do I. Marching along with time. I'll be marching from time to time, for I'm not gonna let the parade go by. You know that time marches on, and so do I. Oh, one day I changed my horse for a motor, and now of course I will be changing my car for a plane to fly. 'Cause time marches on, and so do I. Oh, there'll be a change in music, a change in rhythm, a change in dancing, but I'll be right with 'em. Watch me, and you will find that I simply won't be left behind, for time marches on with his head up high, and so do I.
Another casualty of the cutting room floor was this song, Some Sunny Day, sung by Don Amici.
Some sunny day with a smile on my face, I'll go back to that place far away. Back to that shack and that red-headed hen. She'll say, how have you been? Then go back to the hay and lay me my breakfast. Some sunny day I'll be on that express, flying away to my little bunch of happiness. Oh, how I pine for those lips sweet as wine. They'll be pressed close to mine some sunny day.
Oh, honey, with a sunny smile on my face,
I'll go back to that place far away.
Away.
Back to that shack and that red-headed hen. She'll say,
How have you been? How have you really?
then go back
To the hay
and lay me my breakfast. Some sunny day I'll be on that express, flying away to my little bunch of happiness. Oh, how I pine for those lips sweet as wine.
They'll be pressed very close to mine.
Some sunny day.
It's the biggest night in Hollywood history. Stars, directors, executives, ace critics, and leaders from all walks of life attend the gala press preview of the motion picture industry's most magnificent achievement, Irving Berlin's Alexander's Ragtime Band. Ethel Merman and Cesar Romero, Jack Benny, Claudette Colbert, Don Amici, Merle Oberon, Norma Shearer, and James Stewart, Alice Faye and Tony Martin, Paul Muni, Tyrone Power and Janet Gaynor, Irving Berlin. These are a few of the famous who acclaimed Alexander's Ragtime Band as one of the greatest dramatic spectacles ever produced.
Irving Berlin's Alexander's Ragtime Band became Fox's biggest musical hit of the year. Its success made Alice Faye one of 20th Century Fox's top stars and prompted Berlin to say, "I'd rather have Alice Faye introduce my songs than any other singer I know."
Rose of Washington Square, I'm withering there. In basement there, I'm fading.
In 1939, Zanuck cast Alice in the lavish Rose of Washington Square, a thinly disguised musical biography of singer-comedian Fanny Brice.
Oh, Rose, I tried. Honest, I did. I tried to keep out of it.
Yes, I know. And I still love you. Don't you understand?
Then do me a favor, will you? Leave. Go away. Go away someplace before I ruin your life as well as my own.
No. It's you and me.
But despite the reteaming of Faye and Tyrone Power, and the inclusion of show business legend Al Jolson, the epic musical was besieged with problems, not the least of which was the real Fanny Brice's threatened lawsuit. As these surviving dailies attest, director Gregory Ratoff couldn't even make up his mind which of these dresses looked most flattering on his star.
I'm sorry, dear.
Both were tested.
So sorry, dear. I'm sorry I made you cry.
But only this one was used in the final version.
I'm sorry I made you cry.
Intended as a 2-hour extravaganza, Zanuck slashed the film's running time to a mere 86 minutes. More than 5 musical numbers never made it to cinema screens.
Right off, A188, S197 and 8, cut.
Even the great Jolson was cut.
Now let's really play.
Seen here is the unedited version of his show-stopping medley, and it looks and sounds as fresh as if it were recorded yesterday.
Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. And if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining a rain, you know. It's raining violets. And where you see clouds upon the hills, you soon will see crowds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for its song. Whenever April showers come, I found my love in Avalon beside the bay, and I left my love in Avalon, and I sailed away. I dream of her and Avalon from dusk till dawn, and so I think I'll travel on to Avalon.
Another casualty was this charming comedy sequence performed by vaudeville veterans Weber and Fields. It is the only record of this popular stage routine known to exist.
What are you doing down there? Nothing. But you just now said you was working. Sure, in a nut and bolt works. Well, what is your job? Nothing. Where are you working?
In a nut and bolt work.
Well, what do you do?
Nothing.
Well, why don't you do something?
I am doing something. I am doing something.
Well, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Well, what I'm trying to find out is, what are you doing down there?
Nothing. Nothing. I am nothing. I am nothing.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's... No. I'm screwing the nuts on the bolts.
That's a good joke.
What's a good show?
Nothing.
Yeah, okay.
But the film's biggest casualty was a song heard throughout the film as underscoring. Strangely, it was anticipated, but never sung in the final film. Here at last is Alice Faye performing the song which had been intended as one of the film's highlights.
I'm always chasing rainbows, watching clouds drifting by. My schemes are just like all my dreams, ending in the sky. Some people look and find the sunshine. I always look and find the rain. Some people make a winning sometime. I never even make a gain. Believe me, I'm always chasing rainbows, waiting to find a little bluebird in vain. I always look and find the rain. Some people make a winning sometime. I never even make a gain. Believe me, I'm always chasing rainbows, waiting to find a little bluebird in vain.
To say that this next lost sequence is unusual is an understatement. It features a young Burt Lahr, fresh from his great success as a Broadway headliner, but still 2 years away from film immortality for his role as the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz. By the time he appeared in the film Love and Hisses in 1937, Burt Lahr was one of the highest-paid comics in the country. But according to Lahr himself, his stage technique did not always work in motion pictures. In the theater, he was used to playing to the back row, which meant greatly exaggerating every movement and gesture for comic effect. This sequence, entitled Woof, was cut for obvious reasons. Nobody could figure out exactly what Burt was doing.
Gotta sing, swing it. Gotta sing, swing it. Gotta sing about music out today. Swing and sway is here to stay. Scat-daddle-doo, 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 scat-daddle-doo. Gotta sing, swing it. Gotta sing, swing it. Gotta sing about engines here and puff. I can never get enough. Choo, choo. Choo, choo. Woo, woo. Gotta sing about trumpets. Hot and sweet. Sweet and hot, hot and sweet, sweet and hot, hot, sweet, sweet, hot, witty, 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 whoa! 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 I got a number 1, 2. I got a number 3, 4. I got a number woof, woof. I got a number I Eyes a muggin'. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, woof, 11, 12, woof, woof, 14, 15, woof, ah, 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 woof. Have you ever felt a feeling for the delta? Zaz, in the Mississippi mud. It's a treat to beat your feet on the Mississippi Basin. M-I-S-S-I-S, south in my mouth. Christopher Columbus. Oh, you rascal. Yeah, man, hot dog. Well, burn my clothes. Hold that tiger, hold that tiger, that tiger, that tiger, that tiger, that tiger. Yeah! Gotta sing about zithers, pretty things, plucking strings, salt and sweet, mean and low, hot and soft and hot, high, ho, ho, high. Take it, Charlie. Hi, you dog. Shine, boy. La da 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 da. Shine, boy. La da da la da da la da da da. Do, dee, goo, goo, gotta sing, swing it, gotta sing, swing it, gotta sing about love and happy times. Hear those bells, hear those chimes. Let me ride and love it, let me ride and love it. Ding dong daddy, king of swing, ragtime Sally, bucket wing. Hot stuff, how am I doing? Hey, hey, ho, ho, hoo, hoo, goo, goo, boo, boo, rock out. Good evening, friends.
In 1940, as the rest of the world was preoccupied with war in Europe, Americans found a distraction in the form of the lovely, long-legged Betty Grable. Replacing the ailing Alice Faye in Down Argentine Way, Betty soon became one of the screen's top stars.
You'll find your life will begin the very moment you're in Argentina. If you're romantic, senor, then you will surely adore Argentina.
Inevitably, Hollywood buzzed with rumors of a rivalry between Grable and Faye. To dispel them, the two were teamed in Tin Pan Alley, a nostalgic tribute to America's musical past.
Hawaii, lovely Hawaii, it's like heaven on the blue Pacific shore. Oh, won't you let me go to the land of sweet aloha? Won't you let me linger there forevermore?
Co-starring John Payne and Jack Oakey,
And I want to thank you for the swell way you put our number
the
across.
film was one of the year's smash hits, but still not immune to the editor's scissors. Missing from the final film is this entertaining sequence featuring William Demarest, in which Alice demonstrates just how easily hit songs are written.
Nothing to worry about. She'll start right up like a shot.
Look at it, blow it up! Look at it, blow it up!
Must be the spark plugs or the carburetor. I'll have her fixed in a jiffy.
Well, can I help?
No, thanks.
Won't you join us in a drive to Rockaway Beach for a shore dinner? Some fun.
Oh, one must expect these little things whilst touring.
Maybe it's the clutch, or the connecting rods, or the crankshaft.
Well, what do we do now?
Well, let's get in and relax. The boys will fix the car.
Maybe the shims are twisted. Of course, it could be the universal joint of the transmission, but it never is on the Sunshine 6.
Sounds like the whole rear end dropped out.
All right, Skeets will get into the car and fix everything.
Hey, you.
What?
You get out and get under, too.
Me? What do I know about universal joints?
You'll learn. Come on. Get out and get under.
Get out and get under.
Say, Skeets, you know that's cute?
What?
You know, that get out and get under. Listen. Get out and get under, get out and get under.
Yeah. I could use that for a number. You know, boy takes his girl out for a ride and the car breaks down. Hey, Harry. Wow. Listen. Get out and get under. Ta-da-da-da-da. Say, that's the best idea I ever had.
You?
Sure. Get out and get under.
No, wait a minute. Try it this way. Get out and get under, get out and get under, to fix his little machine. He was just dying to cuddle his queen, but every minute when he'd begin it, he'd have to get under, get out and get under. Then he'd get back at the wheel. A dozen times they'd start to hug and kiss him, and the darned old engine, it would miss, and then he'd have to get under, get out and get under, and fix up his automobile. He'd have to get under, get out and get under, to fix his little machine. He was just dying to cuddle his queen, but every minute when he'd begin it, he'd have to get under, get out and get under. Then he'd get back at the wheel. A dozen times they'd start to hug and kiss, and then the darn old engine, it would miss, and then he'd have to get under, get out and get under, and fix up his automobile.
During a preview screening, Fox executives felt the film was running too long. And one number featuring the popular tune, When You Wore a Tulip, fell flat with audiences. Although the Tulip number was originally intended to open and close an elaborate medley, Darryl F. Zanuck shelved it, and only the middle sequence, Honeysuckle Rose, remained in the final film. Most of the hard work Betty had put into this impressive sequence was lost, until now. By the way, if you don't hear the sounds of Betty's tap shoes, it's because they would have been added later, after the sequence had been cut into the final film.
Perhaps you wonder who we are and exactly why we're here. Well, we won't keep you guessing. And we'll make it very clear. Say, we are songwriters, sensational songwriters of the latest, greatest, up-to-date show. We won't write a moon song, a spoon song, a June song. We just write songs about a rose. They're such an inspiration, and as for compensation, they pay off the best by far. Now to prove our contention, we would like to mention a few of the rose songs there are. For instance, when you wore a tulip, a sweet yellow tulip, and I wore a big red rose. When you caressed me, 'twas then heaven bless me, what a blessing, no one loved. You made life cheery when you called me dearie. 'Twas down where the bluegrass grows. Your lips were sweeter than julep when you wore a tulip, and I wore a big red rose. One night we were in a quandary. We couldn't think of a note. Then suddenly we heard the buzz of a bee. So we sat down and wrote Honeysuckle Rose. Everybody knows when they see you out with me, your perfection goodness knows. Honeysuckle Rose.
Wouldn't you like to know that I'm your sugar? I just have to touch your cup.
You're my sugar. It's sweet when you stir it up.
When I'm taking sips from your tasty lips, seems the honey fairly drips.
Your confection goodness knows.
Honey, when you're out with me, your confection goodness knows. Honeysuckle, moonlight, and
One night there was a fire in the place where we reside. The engines roared, the sirens screamed, the women and children cried. Our home was burning to the ground, and we were facing doom. But we didn't flinch, no, not an inch. We just sat in our room, and we wrote.
You wore a tulip, a sweet yellow tulip, and I wore a big red rose. When you caressed me, 'twas then heaven blessed me. What a blessing no one knows.
Sweeter than julep when you wore a tulip, and I wore a big red rose.
Another film that went through extensive changes before it finally reached the screen was this 1941 murder mystery starring Betty Grable and Victor Mature.
Vicky!
I just came in. Just a second.
Is she?
Jill, you don't think I did it, do you? You don't, do you?
Extra, read all about it, blah, model murder!
The story represented a radical departure for Grable, whose previous films had always been musical comedies. But at the urging of producer Milton Sperling, Zanuck agreed to test his rising star in this no-nonsense film noir.
Was there ever anything between you and this Frankie Christopher?
What are you saying?
You know what I'm saying. You were in love with him, weren't you?
That's a lie.
You were in love with him, and he didn't give you a tumble, so you put your sister out of the way.
Titled Hot Spot, it sparkled with a few obligatory songs by Grable. But when the film was previewed in Pasadena, patrons began walking out after a few reels. It seemed that the combination of Grable and the title Hot Spot had led the audience to think they were going to see a musical. Radical surgery was needed. After the preview, Zanuck and Sperling drove back to the studio and spent the night in the cutting room. The first order of business was to cut this scene, in which Betty plays a song plugger in a music store.
Speed. All right, sir.
I don't know. I don't think George would care for this. You see, George, that's my husband, is having a birthday party tonight. And I want something, oh, you know what I mean, something that will do things to him.
Would he like Beat Me, Daddy?
Well, that sounds more like it. But haven't you got something that isn't quite so rough?
How about just plain Daddy?
Yes, I like that. Sounds rather clinging. Would you mind demonstrating it?
No, ma'am. It'd be a pleasure. Hey, Daddy, I want a diamond ring, bracelets, everything. Daddy, you want to get the best for me. Hey, Daddy, gee, won't I look swell in sables, clothes with Paris labels? Daddy, you want to get the best for me. Here's an amazing revelation with a bit of stimulation. I'd be a great sensation. I'd be your inspiration, Daddy. I want a brand new car, champagne, caviar, Daddy. You want to get the best from me, la da 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 da. Here's an amazing revelation with a little bit of stimulation. I'd be a great sensation. I'd be your inspiration. Hey, Daddy, I want a brand new car, champagne, caviar. Daddy, 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 you ought to get the very best for me.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take it.
Thanks. Peggy, will you write the sale for me, please?
Sure, hurry up, you're late now. Daddy sells for 35 cents, madam. Will there be anything else?
No, thank you. That's all.
By morning, Hot Spot was retitled I Wake Up Screaming, and retakes were scheduled in order to change Betty's on-screen occupation from music store clerk to stenographer.
After all, she had ended up with a Hollywood contract, and I was still pounding a typewriter and breaking my fingernails.
The film was a smash hit, and studio executives breathed a sigh of relief. But by the end of 1941, America had joined the Allied war effort, and stars like Betty Grable were considered more valuable for boosting morale than for screen acting.
Betty Grable, arriving in a Jeep and with a military escort, a wartime version of a cement ceremony traditional in Hollywood, signing the sidewalk at Sid Grauman's Chinese Theater with the aid of the Army, the Navy, and the Marines.
A studio publicity photo of Betty became the #1 most requested picture by GIs throughout the world.
You'd think they were rushing for payday. Thousands of troops stormed for autographs.
Capitalizing on her phenomenal fame, 20th Century Fox starred Betty in the aptly titled Pin-Up Girl.
You're my little pin-up girl. Honestly, you are. To me, you have the grace of an angel, a face of a movie star.
Looking stunning in Technicolor, Grable once again played a stenographer, this time a musical one.
I said, shall I take notes or...
Do you dance?
Not during office hours.
By now, Betty was the top box office draw in America. Care was taken in the choice of her material. Every aspect of her hair and wardrobe came under scrutiny, and any song she chose to sing could become a standard.
I can't begin to tell you how happy I would be.
You started something. Yes, you did, but you didn't even try to.
Often, musical numbers were shot and scrapped in favor of others.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have got a big surprise for you. In fact, it's a bigger surprise to me than it'll be to you. You all remember me. I mean the show, remember me. Then surely you'll remember her. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Miss Laura Lorraine. All right, Charlie, this is it.
Such was the case with this song. A bouncy offering that could very well have made its way to the hit parade.
You're my #1 selection. Perfection to a T. And what is more, you were made to order for me. For you gave me that glow that makes me know that this is it. I don't know why, but we just seem to fit. I caught your eye and sing, the spark was lit. I must admit that this is no maybe, baby, this is it. I'm in the darndest fix. I slipped and fell just like a ton of bricks. You really had me spinning like a top. You smiled and popped when my heart, yes, you and I got off to a flying start. Now I refuse to quit, for I know that we can miss, and this is it.
This is it, this is it, can't keep it under our hat. And so you know it isn't any secret now that this is it.
Don't know the second chorus.
This is it. You're just what the critics call a 4-star hit.
I'm all
a twit. No, this isn't namby-pamby, this is it. Can't let you off my hook.
You're just as priceless as a ration book.
You are a thrill that nothing will eclipse.
I'm in the chips, so to speak. My cares are gone and I'm on a winning streak, so I don't mind a bit.
Refuse to quit.
Gotta tip my mitt, for I know that we can miss.
Can't miss with a solid miss.
And this
like you, now you better admit.
This is it.
Musical numbers weren't the only casualties of the cutting room. Sometimes comedy routines, no matter how funny, fell victim to the editing process. Directed in 1943 by the legendary Busby Berkeley, The Gang's All Here was a Technicolor extravaganza. It boasted an all-star cast, including Alice Faye, Benny Goodman, and Carmen Miranda.
Dorita, you remember Mr. Potter and Mr. Mason?
I remember, Mr. Potty. You are here to kick up some more heels, huh?
No, Mr. Potter wants you to come to his house this weekend.
You naughty boy. You are what they call a fast workman, yes?
Mason, please. Well, it was really my idea. We wanted you to come and help sell war bonds.
Oh, you know, I like you both. I think you are very cute.
But due to the film's length, this humorous sequence was cut from the final film.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Take It or Leave It program. Our first contestant is Sergeant Casey of the United States Army. Step a little closer to the microphone, Sergeant. What would you like to talk about? Famous women of history? All right, famous women of history. Now listen carefully. For $1, what woman was a crown of halves on a poor child's French actress? Sarah Bernhardt? That is correct. You get $1. Would you like to try for $2? All right, for $2. What woman was a Comber Harbors on a poor child's near Albany? Helen of Troy? That is correct. You get $2. Would you like to try for $4? All right, for $4. What woman was it that was climbing on a horse? Lady Godiva? That is absolutely correct. He gets $4. Would you like to try for $8?
Well, I made 4 quick enough.
You sure you'd like to try for $8?
I might as well. How far'd $4 go in a joint like this?
All right, but from now on, you're on your own. We continue with our category of famous women for $8. What blonde movie star has a beautiful body and her last name means a body of water? Come on, think hard. Please, everyone, no help from the audience. Now, her last name is a body of water.
Could it be the Mississippi River?
Could be, but it isn't.
Last name is a body.
Veronica Lake. That is absolutely correct. Well, Sergeant Casey, your score is $8. Would you like to stop now or try for 16?
Keep going.
All right, for $16. What queen in history, a famous vampire, always made her mark?
She was a famous vampire.
That's right.
Cleopatra.
That is absolutely correct, but take it or leave it. Well, Sergeant Casey, you've got $16. You want to stop now or try for 32?
Shoot.
All right, for $32. What popular New York actress who got her start in burlesque surprised everyone recently by writing a best-selling mystery book?
Mystery book?
Oh, I've got it. Gypsy Rose Lee.
What? The very idea.
Gypsy Rose Lee, right?
That's absolutely right. Well, Sergeant Casey, you have $32. You want to stop now or try for 64? What'll it be, 32 or 64?
64, naturally.
You'll be sorry.
And now for the $64 question. What woman is a famous painting and it was painted by her son?
Oh, famous painting.
Yes?
By her son.
Uh-huh.
Please, Mr. Baker, I can't think if you're going to whistle.
I'm just trying to help you.
Yeah, thanks. You said a painting.
That's right.
And it was painted by her son.
It wasn't her daughter. Do you know the answer?
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
Yes?
Yes, it's coming.
Uh-huh.
Yes, here it is now.
Yes?
No, it went away again.
Then you don't know the answer.
No, Mr. Baker, I'm afraid I don't. I've got it. Whistler's father.
No, Mother.
Well, that's close enough. You win $64, and congratulations, Sergeant Casey. Good luck, Sergeant.
Thanks.
And now we have...
telephone, Mr. Baker.
Please don't interrupt my program.
It's very important, sir. A gentleman by the name of Maxie.
Maxie?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yes? Maxie, what's the idea of calling me at this? What? She did? Tell and tell came in at 45 to 1. Wait a minute. Maxie, that's 45 times 500. Thanks, Maxie. Okay, goodbye. Jeepers, tell and tell won. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just become the proud parent of 22,500 bouncy little dollars.
Tell and tell? Is a horse?
Oh, yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah, thank you. Very nice.
Dorita, where are you? Dorita, tell and tell came in.
She did.
She did. We could open our own nightclub. She won. Where isn't it wonderful? Oh.
Look.
He's sleepy.
Deleting a musical number was considered an easy way to trim a film's running time. They rarely affected the plot or the outcome of a story. Irving Berlin's There's No Business Like Show Business had plenty of musical numbers. A few too many, it was thought.
When that midnight choo-choo leaves for Alabama.
A man chases a girl until she catches him.
After you get what you want, you don't want it.
Directed by Walter Lang, the CinemaScope extravaganza boasted an Irving Berlin score and an all-star cast that included Ethel Merman, Donald O'Connor, Mitzi Gaynor, Dan Daly, and, of course, Marilyn Monroe.
Jamaica. Moderately high barometric pressure will cover the northeast and the deep south. Small danger of fruit frost. Hot and humid nights can be expected.
St. Vincent, 95. Guadeloupe, 97. San Domingo, 99. Martinique, 105.
But a running time of nearly 2 hours dictated the deletion of at least one show-stopping musical number. Here's Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Four Donahues.
Performed by Ethel Merman and Dan Daly. And cut just prior to the film's release. This is the first and only time Merman recorded this Annie Get Your Gun hit for the big screen.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can wear, I can wear better. In what you wear, I'd look better than you.
In my coat.
In your vest.
In my shoes.
In your hat.
Ah, you can.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Ole!
I can wear a sweater.
I can fill it better.
I can jump a hurdle.
Even with a girdle?
I can do most anything.
Can you bake a pie?
No.
Neither can I. Anything you can sing, I can sing softer. I can sing anything softer than you.
No, you can.
Yes, I can.
No, you
yes,
can.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I can drink my liquor faster than a flicker.
I can do it quicker and get even sicker.
I can live on bread and cheese.
And only on that?
See.
So can a rat. Any note you can reach, I can go higher. I can sing anything higher than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you
Yes,
can't.
I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Anything you can do, we can do better.
We can do anything better than you.
Hey!
One popular movie that underwent significant re-editing was the 1952 production We're Not Married.
Boy, that's really something.
My wife.
Oh, beg your pardon.
Well, that's all right. Keep looking.
Much obliged.
The story concerned 6 long-married couples who discovered that, due to a technicality, they're not legally wed.
The ceremony that joined you in marriage was performed by Justice of the Peace before the authorized date of his appointment. We are compelled to inform you that you are not legally married.
Now, if all these people are not really married, well, I don't know if it's honest to keep their money.
Why should I send their money back when they're just as happy as if they were really married?
But that's not the point, Melvin.
Now, look, Mama. When these people get that letter from the governor, they'll have a choice that other people never get. Now, if they like each other, all they got to do is to say yes again. But if they don't, well, it's all over, and that's the end of it.
Featuring an all-star cast, including Marilyn Monroe, Ginger Rogers, Mitzi Gaynor, and Zsa Zsa Gabor. The sequences range from poignant and sentimental.
Mister, me and my wife have got to get a license. We've got to get married right away instantly,
We're
you
closed.
understand?
It's after 5
I
o'clock.
tell you, we got to have that license. I'm sailing tonight, and we got to be married. This kid's going to have a baby, and I'm not going to leave her here not married, you understand?
To cynical and ironically humorous.
Ah, what coffee, what aromatic fragrance. It must be...
You're right, love.
I knew it.
Yes, it's Makista's Vita-Fresh coffee. The coffee with that locked-up goodness for everybody. Grind or drip.
Cut. But one of We're Not Married's finest sequences was removed prior to the film's release, featuring Academy Award winner Walter Brennan and Hope Emerson. This episode was considered too offbeat for some tastes. Yet from today's perspective, it seems wonderfully funny.
Mr. and Mrs. Leif G. Beaufort, Black Root, South Carolina.
Oh, that dirty crook. Well, he comes in here with about 15 big walloping children and a woman as big as that icebox.
Oh, Melvin.
Pushing and shoving and breaking up the furniture. And what does he give me? $1 measly.
Well, but he was a widower, Papa, with children from his first wife.
Yeah, 50 cents of it in dimes.
Well, maybe he was poor. Maybe he couldn't afford any more.
I caught one of them sticking his finger in the syrup pitcher.
That poor woman. I felt very sorry for her.
Well, those billy goat kids better not start anything with her, or she'll beat them to death with their own father. Give her a twist, sissy.
Where's the lunch?
Maddie, where's the lunch?
Where are you working today?
Gonna tackle that North 40 today.
Morning, Matty.
Oh, hello, Hanson.
Just happened to be passing.
Sit down and have a cup of coffee.
Oh, much obliged, Matty, but hate to drink coffee on an empty stomach.
Have some eggs, too?
Well, I sure would if I didn't hate to eat eggs without no ham.
All right. I got some ham, too.
That'll go mighty good. With some grits and hot biscuits and molasses.
Just as soon as I get these dishes in the sink.
Say, do you know that's just about as heavy a load as I ever seen a lady of your years lift?
It's heavier than that after supper.
That's what I've been telling you all along, Matty. The things you have to do for that man just makes my blood boil. See, you suppose I could have a half a watermelon while you're getting the rest of that stuff ready?
Just as soon as I get my breath back.
If you wasn't married...
You ready for some more?
Just a minute. If you wasn't married...
Look, Hanson. I know what you're aiming at, but it ain't no use. It ain't even any use talking about it.
What do you mean?
I know you don't want to come right out and say it because you're a good man. But I know what you want is that I should run away from Leif and marry you. But I can't do it, Handsome. Leif would never give me no divorce, even if I wanted him to. And that's the only way I'd ever go away with you, with the paper in my hand.
You sure Leif won't let you go?
Positive, hon. Not in 10,000 years.
This dang near breaks my heart, Matty Sugar.
I know, Handsome, but you gotta be brave about it.
Yeah. I guess I'll try to be brave, but I don't know how lucky I'll be at it.
If there was any other way on earth I could think of...
Oh, no, there ain't no other way. I can see that. I'll just have to try and bear it. What I can't understand is how come you married a man that makes you work so hard?
Well, it may have been his money or the fact that he already had a family. Don't find many men with a ready-made family around here, you know.
Yeah, but you can lose your looks working like that all the time.
Go on, handsome. What looks have I got to lose?
And don't go running yourself down, Mattie. You ain't only a fine figure of a woman, but you must be strong as a mule, too.
Shut your mouth, handsome.
Yes, sir, I was just telling myself the other night. For a lady of her years and what she's been through, you just can't beat Mattie Beaufort. Of course, she ain't no chicken, but she's all woman. There's plenty of her, too.
Well, it's awful nice of you to say that anyway, handsome.
What we could do, we could live in Spartanburg and eat at the Greasy Spoon every night. Then you wouldn't have all this work to do. That?
Just the mailman. When he runs out of gas, he uses kerosene. How's that stuff working?
Works all right. Just scares me to death.
I hope you make it.
Did he see me?
I don't think so.
What I mean is, if you was only free, you can hop an old number 9 tonight and be in Spartanburg 412. And then you wouldn't have no more work to do after that, hon. Because you'd have me doing all the work and taking care of you. If you was only free.
Can you read without your specs?
No. But I got them right here.
I can't see a dead blamed thing without mine. Here, take this and see what it says. I'll get you some more of them chops.
It's a good idea. Mr. and Mrs. Leif G. Beaufort.
What was it?
What's that, hon?
What did that letter say?
The letter. Oh, just another ad for Cadillacs.
Cadillacs? They sure came to the right place for it.
Why not? If you was my wife, you'd have a Cadillac. Good-looking woman like you. I'd have you one quick and you could spit. One of them red ones.